Hi, this is Pat McDonald, your host for Banter and Beans, where we're asking the question, what's brewing in Montpelier? And joining me today in studio is Kristin Cantu. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did pronounce
Excellent,
that correctly.
thank you. She is the program manager of Greenway Institute, and I'm so pleased to meet you in person, and thank you for joining me in the studio.
Pat, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, that's
I'm
great.
excited to be here.
That's right. Well, we've actually chatted on the phone once or twice, and I just put the name to the face, which is cool.
Yeah, same thing. Over the weekend, I was like, oh wait, I think we've actually talked before.
Yes, we have. Anyway, and you're right down the street on the college campus here.
That's right.
In Montpelier.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm in Noble Hall.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and this exciting adventure you all are on here for the Greenway.
Yeah, well, like you said, my name's Kristin Cantu, and I'm program manager at Greenway Institute. And so Greenway is a nonprofit educational organization. And so our goal is to inspire current and future generations to engineer a sustainable future. And so what we're doing right now is we're creating a college that's building a disruptively different educational model that we think will better serve students, better serve industry, and better serve the world.
Excellent. That's a lot of words.
It is a lot of words.
I caught one of those words, and you said disruptively.
Right.
Disruptively different. Could you explain to us what that means?
So what Greenway aims to do is to offer an educational program that's 100% hands-on learning and 50% industry immersion. So what that means is our approach includes 2 years of project-based residential learning right here in Montpelier, so those students will be here on campus, interleaved with 2 years of work-integrated learning, which students will earn credit and a paycheck. So our educational model is one that will allow students in 4 years to graduate with a degree, with a job, and little to no debt.
Bravo, that's great. Now you said you're still starting it. You're creating, because somewhere I read where they used the word college, so it's a 4-year college.
Correct.
And you're slowly getting to that accreditation, I guess?
Yeah, that's right. So over the last year, thanks to a National Science Foundation grant, we've been able to pilot our educational program. So in the fall of 2023, we piloted our classroom portion of the program, so hands-on learning, project-based, and in the spring of 25, which is January of next year, so just a month or so away, we're going to be piloting our work-integrated portion of our program, and so we're going to be partnering with local industries to offer co-op placements to our students.
That is great. You know, I've always everybody learns differently, and I have never been one to sit in an auditorium with 299 other students listening to a guy on stage, but give me hands-on and sign me up. That's a great approach. I bet you're going to be loaded with applications.
I hope so, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. Being lectured at is not the best way to learn.
No.
When you're able to tinker, use your hands, build, fail at something, try again, that's when the real learning happens.
That's very exciting. I'm going to follow you all to make sure this works, because I don't understand why high schools aren't split up like that with their classes instead of they grade you. If you did hands-on learning versus lecture versus the way kids learn, I bet you wouldn't have so many dropouts.
I agree. We also, our learning is mastery-based, so our students sort of internally set goals for themselves, and so you're allowed to fail over and over again, and you learn each time you fail until you get to the point where you get it. And I think the problem is students are taught that it's not okay to fail, but the truth is that's how we learn, is by failing and trying again.
That's great. So how did this all start, and why did you pick Montpelier? How did this all come about? This is just great.
Sure. So this Greenway Institute is the brainchild of Troy McBride, who is one of the co-founders of Norwich Technologies, which is founded in White River Junction. And together with Rebecca Holcomb, they came together and they said, let's do this. Let's get this started. And so over the last year, like I said, we've been piloting our educational programs. We have another one starting in the spring, and then over the next 2 years, we plan on expanding by hiring sort of necessary personnel, whether that's for our educational staff, operations, marketing, with the goal of, having our first class up and running by fall of 2027. And, Vermont is just ripe with green technology, clean energy, and Montpelier has a goal of being the first capital city to be fossil fuel free by 2030, and so this seemed like the best place.
Right.
For
Well, it's such a
Greenway.
beautiful, it's everything. It's a great downtown for a college.
Yeah.
I mean, so much stuff goes on there, and with Montpelier Alive, who we're doing these shows in cooperation with Montpelier Alive. There's always something going on downtown for young people. It's really great.
Yeah, no, it's really great. And if you, I think about the community a lot in relation to like the school Greenway in relation to the community of Montpelier. And so if you look at Montpelier from an aerial view, it's sort of broken up into three sections. So you've got government, which is where the State House is.
Right.
You have business, which is where our amazing downtown is, and then you have education, which is up here on the top of the hill. So you have all of these campus buildings, and so there's a long history of education happening in these campus buildings, and so we plan to continue that because we think it's an important part of Montpelier's ecosystem.
That's great.
I think it's really exciting to think about a college, this campus being full of students and sort of that vibrancy and bringing campus to life. I think college students are a really important part of our population, and I think that Montpelier would really thrive and love to have more of that population here in downtown and just in Montpelier in general.
Well, there's I'm trying to think, is it Northwestern that has the school and work program, or one of them?
I think it's Northeastern.
Well, it's close, half right. And I know a lot of people that have gone there, and they love it. They love going to class, and then, practical application.
Right.
Whereas you said, got time to fail.
Right, and you talk to students and you ask them what was the best part of college, what was what stood out to you the most, and they will all say internships, co-ops, because they're getting real life, real experience. And I know that's sort of a blow to professors out there to be like, oh wait, you didn't love my class, but students are getting real hands-on, real life experience, and that's what they're craving, and that's what employers want as well. They want a student who's going to graduate and they don't have to retrain.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, it's sort of like the tech centers here, which I am very supportive of. It's the same concept, because not everybody, as I said, can sit in a classroom and listen all day long to lectures. It's like, ugh,
right,
killer. But anyway, so I probably asked, you've probably answered this question already. I was going to ask what makes you different from other engineering programs, and maybe we can talk about this word disruptively different. Why do you think that?
So you look at traditional engineering programs, and they very much have a weed out mentality. There's something called the Math and Science Death March that happens in the first 2 years of this program. And so students basically start off, let's say they start off with like an A, 100%, and they're continually being ticked down the more that they fail or the more that they don't do something perfectly. And so that just weeds out a whole lot of students who could be great potential engineers. But with our program, we're bringing them in, starting them at the bottom and saying, where do you want to go? What do you want to learn? And they set those goals. And like I said before, they can try as many times as they need to until they get there. And then they move on to the next one. So we're building confidence, and we're showing them that you're actually learning by failing.
That's good. Now, your title is Program Manager.
Yes.
What does that mean in this context? You're in charge of it all, right?
That means, I'm in charge of a lot of things. But, we're a startup, so, I do a lot of things from helping with our facilities here on campus, to managing our communications program, to helping with fundraising. I do help somewhat with like student stuff with students, but we do have an educational team for that. But we're a really small team, and we all do a lot.
Duties as assigned,
yes,
they call that.
Duties as assigned.
You got to watch that last line on the job description. That's great. So you obviously are going to grow and expand, I'm assuming, once you get that what is it, accreditation. Mm-hmm. And then where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years?
Wow, okay. 5 years,
taking over the campus up here.
Yeah, I think that with our first class of students, so it'll be like year one, we hope to have about 50 students on campus, and then we'll slowly grow. So each year will be added on. And because of the way our model is set up with 2 years on, 2 years off, we'll ultimately have about twice the amount of students enrolled as we typically would,
Great.
because students will be off doing a co-op, and we'll have another group of students on here on campus starting. So I think total enrollment, once we're totally full, will be about 450, but it'll be about half of that at any time
Right.
on
Right.
campus.
That's great.
So we want to build a college that is going to be great for students, great for the economy, great for Vermont's economy. We're hoping students, if they're not from here, they come here, they love Vermont, and they want to stay and build up the economy here.
That's great. We need young people.
Yes.
We really do. And you picked Montpelier, you've said that before, I just think this is a great college downtown. I mean, how perfect is this?
It is, the campus is 10-minute or less walk to downtown. There's so much to do. We've got 2 movie theaters, so many restaurants, live music venues. Students can get jobs downtown. I know so many places would love to hire more people. We're going to hopefully build partnerships with downtown organizations and businesses. Please let us know how we can partner with you. And also just extra foot traffic.
Right. This is great. So I don't know why I thought of this. When they're gone for the 2 years, how do they keep in touch? And 'cause we had a big discussion about state employees not being in the offices downtown anymore, which is impacting some of the businesses because they don't have the foot traffic, but they're home working. How do you know that they're doing what they should be doing and the professors watching how do you know all that?
That's a great question. So with traditional co-op programs, colleges are usually very hands-off. They're like, okay, you go and do your co-op, and then you come back and we'll do classroom time. But with our program, they're going to be working with educational mentors the entire time they're in their co-op. So they're going to be in touch with us the entire time, so we can see how they're doing. We can help them relate what they're learning on the job and in the classroom, how it goes together. And, there's a lot of life skills that are learned when you're on the job. A lot of students have never been in a professional atmosphere before, so we're helping coaching them through that as well.
Excellent. I love this program. This is great. We're going to make sure you guys are successful here. How exciting. And we also talked about the presence of this school. Once it becomes a college and you've got your students, they will be involved in Montpelier, and through whether it be the college or whatever, they will become part of our community. How do you see that working for the kids?
I think it's going to be great. College students, like I said before, are such an important part of the population. They have amazing ideas. They're full of life. They bring something that no one else can to a community. And so then we also they can serve as mentors for our high school students, for our middle school students. How great would that be to have more of those students here?
And encourage them to go on after high school. That's great. I just think this format is so perfect for kids, and they should do something like that in high school, I think, because they would want to stay instead of dropping out. We had in my high school, we called it BOCES in New Jersey, where they went to work for half a day in high school, and we had very low dropout rate because the kids who liked the hands-on did that. The other kids would stay in class and listen to the teachers and stuff. But I just think everybody wants to do hands-on. And
I think so, and I love that you talked about that. With our program, or whether it's through the career educational facilities, the CTEs, those are great programs as well. We need to figure out a way to keep more students engaged and involved, so that so that their own economic development is successful as well.
You could become the engineering hub here.
Yes.
Get a new look on life. That's really wonderful. Good for you. We just have a few minutes. We want to talk in general about, maybe you could talk about Montpelier Alive and its 25th anniversary. Isn't that amazing?
It's so amazing. Yeah. I love Montpelier Alive so much. I really view them as the heartbeat of our downtown.
Absolutely. The whole staff there, led by Katie Trouts, but the energy level just makes me, I think back and go, I used to be able to do that, but they're amazing people. I can't thank you enough. I wish you so much luck. It turns out that her husband and I are on a board together, and I just found that out. So
small town.
It is. It's a Vermont thing. You always have to speak nicely about everybody all the time. I wish you so much success, and if we can help deliver your message through ORCA, let me know.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being here. And yeah, just helping spread the word is the best thing that anyone can do
That's
right
great,
now.
excellent. Thank you for tuning in. This is Pat McDonald, your host for Banter and Beans, where we just found out what's happening and what's brewing in Montpelier. See ya.